Hi, this is Ron Ovitt, Mr. Change Agent. And thanks for stopping by today and looking at one of our videos here. And it may have just enticed you to look because it's about health. Now, we're in Power for Living. And our motto, if you will, is change your habits and crush your cravings. And so you might be asking, well, what's health have to do with this? And what I'd like to say to you is that health has everything to do with this. We're talking about habits, and a term I coined is what I call a domino habit. Now, you've played dominoes, right? I don't play them so much, but I like standing them up. You've ever seen that, right, on the TV programs where they'll have them standing up and doing all these patterns, and you knock one down and they all go? That's a domino habit, works like that. It's a habit that works in not only what it's doing, but it affects all kinds of things. And health affects us very much when it comes to addictions, when it comes to habits, when it comes to cravings. We're a whole person, body, soul, and spirit. And that's why our program is based on the mind and based on the psyche and the spirit and the body. And so health is important. And I just want to encourage you to think about some of the programs that we have on health. What are some of those domino habits? One would be exercise. Now, exercise is very important. Now, I'm older than 60 now, and I had run for probably 35 years. And then when I was around 50, I was in Georgia for about 3 years, and I was running in the foothills. And running hills is totally different than the way I ran in Chicago all my life and on flat land. It worked these muscles back here, and it really messed things up. Messed them up for me. And so I wasn't able then to change that. I got back and my back was sore. It was really hurting me, and so I had to quit running. And it really broke my heart in a way. And so for almost 10 years, I didn't do any running. Now, I can't say that my body fell total apart, and that I died, But one day, I was watching a friend, and he was talking about how he had to go walking. Now, I had already heard about 10,000 steps. And he said, yeah, I got about 2,000 more. And he had this Fitbit. Well, it was a pedometer. And that kind of excited me. And see, there's things about habits you got to know. And that is that people will bug you for a long time that you need to make a change. And you'll hear about it. You'll read about it. And so there's peer pressure. You'll read about it. You know you need to change. But what really happens sometimes that really helps and makes that aha is that something innovative comes along. Something that says, maybe I can change this time. And that pedometer was that. I said, yeah, maybe I can do this again. And so I followed my own advice, and that is I made it into a micro experience. I didn't go on and say I'm going to do 10,000 steps my first day. I said, well, I wonder what 1,000's like. And so I just set out to do 1,000, and I committed myself to do that every day. And it didn't take long at all when I said, well, 1,000, it's 100 steps a minute. That's only 10 minutes. I can walk more than that. But because I started small, and because I made a point to do it every day, see, it's really important, every day. That's where the consistency comes in. And so as you start small, you'll see that you'll be able to increase it as you go along. And that's the real secret of exercise. Exercise has its own rewards. Once you start doing it, you see weight start coming off, you feel muscle tone, endorphins start kicking in. It has its own rewards, but most of us don't get started. And once we get started, we don't continue. And that's, I'm convinced, because we try too much to start off with. So I encourage you, if you're going to start lifting weights, lift light weights, but do it every day that you're going to do it. Maybe it's 3 times a week you're going to lift weights. If you're going to do push-ups every day, start with 2. I mean, who cares? The main thing is start where you can know that you won't fail. And your mind, trust me, your mind will talk you into doing more. That I'm not worried about that. But you'll find in time, you'll become more and more fit. And exercise will really help you with cravings. It will help you with other things. The second one is nutrition. Now, you can exercise, and yet if you're going to eat the wrong way, you might not get the benefits that exercise is going to bring. You really need to find a program that you like. Now for me, I like the low carb program. I like the low carbs. I decided not to have any more sugar. Now to cut it totally out of your diet is almost impossible because it's everywhere. But I decided to start maybe with 20 grams of sugar and then cut it down to 12 and maybe to 10. And that was doable. And I was able to find substitutions, and so you can do that. And what are you lacking in? Do you know a lot of our cravings really aren't for the things that we think they are? Sometimes it's water we're craving. Sometimes it's iron. Sometimes it's other vitamins. And it would do you well to go see your doctor, see your physician, and start talking to them. Ask them, can I exercise? What kind do you recommend? Can I use some supplements? What kind of diet do you think I should be on? Because I don't want you to do any of this without a doctor, of course. You know, talk to them. But get on a program you like. There's all kinds of programs, and they work, but you got to work them. And then I think another one that's very important is rest, sleep. We are in a sleep deprivation society here, and I'm guilty. When I had 3 children, young children, I was going to graduate school, I wouldn't even start studying till 10:30. It was no use, so I couldn't do it, you know. So I'd start studying and I'd stay up to 2:30, get up the next morning and, you know, start all over again. But you know, all that does is increase stress. All that does is increase our cravings, because our body then longs for something to snap us out of it, right? Get us out of it, pep us up. And those are the wrong things. You know, you need your sleep. And I recommend you start with an early morning. Now, I was a night person all my life. You couldn't get me to get up early in the morning if your life depended upon it. But I decided to make a change. And there's a whole series of books called Miracle Mornings, and I recommend that. They have Miracle Mornings for all kinds of different occupations, but it's a good book. And he'll tell you in there how you can start getting up earlier and how you can do things, and it's an exciting concept. And I encourage you, get your rest. And then what are you going to do to reduce stress? What are you going to do to reduce stress? You know, we get addicted to our own stress. Do you know that? You know, I'm convinced that a lot of the anxiety we go through, a lot of the stress that we do, a lot of even our depression is habitual. We get hooked to our own opiates. You know, when you're running around, the sky is falling, your brain does something, right, to calm you down. It gives you those opiates to calm you down, and we can actually almost, to some extent, get addicted to that. Ask yourself, why haven't you changed? Why hasn't it changed all these years, decades? It's time for a change. And so our program goes into how do you reduce stress? What are some of the things? How can you manage your triggers, if you will? How can you reduce that stress? We have a whole program called Mind Skills that will teach you about relaxation, will teach you about breathing, that will help you reduce that stress. And then our programs are really built on the final element of health that's so important, and that is our mental health. Your mental health and emotional health is crucial if you're going to stop any addictions, if you're going to change any habits. We need to know where we are emotionally and how we can be more emotionally mature. So I invite you to go to our website, empowerforliving.com. Check us out. Go ahead and subscribe to this YouTube channel, and you can find out about the other videos. We'll have lots of videos in the future here for you that will talk about all kinds of things. I want to help you. And so write us, let us know how we can help, and we'll be looking forward to really working with you in the future. This is Ron Ovitt, Mr. Change Agent. Thanks for joining us.